Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. This is my daily car, my 123 station wagon. I completely adore this car. I really like it. It's a perfect family classic car. It's good for so much stuff. We took it to Sweden a couple of weeks back. Everything is just awesome with this. We had a puncture. That wasn't the greatest experience, but it had nothing to do with the car. Something just pierced right through the tire on the highway. I'm going to install new tires, even though these are not that old. I'm just going to freshen up that part. But another thing that I'm going to try to do is to keep on top of stuff on this one. I do tend to neglect small issues on my cars. I forget about them. I learn to live with them, and then the next issue comes, then the next issue comes, and then suddenly it's a bit overwhelming. I really don't want that to happen with this one. And because I use it so much, the issue could pile up quite quickly. So I'm going to try every once in a while to take this inside and just fix some of those small stuff that's not really needed to be fixed yet, but suddenly it will just be overwhelming. And today it's a bit of rust up here that I would like to try to fix, because I know more than many how extreme the rust issues can get on these, and that it can happen quite quickly and unnoticed. So I'm going to try to keep on top of that. And this is the rust. It's been painted before, as you can see. I don't know how bad it is, but I will have to remove some trim to really see the scope of it. So this is the spot that I want to do something about. Yeah, we have a hole in here. I'm gonna try to clean it up and see how much I need to cut out. There is a hole, so I need to weld, but it would be nice if I could clean this up, convert it and paint it, but we'll have to see. This is what I have uncovered so far. I got the hole up there. Let me just move the light in a little bit closer so that we can see a bit, so that I can show you a bit better. We got a hole in there. The structure underneath looks perfect. It's just messy right now, but it looks perfect. So what I hope to do is to just make a small patch right around here. And then convert the rest of the rust. I need to still dig a little bit closer in areas. I might actually end up making a slightly bigger patch to get a bit more of it out. But my goal is not to make it completely rust-free, because it needs to match the scale of the rest of the car, but I need to make sure that the rust is stopped and water is not getting into the internal structure of the car. That's my goal. This I will convert. This I will convert and paint, and that's the plan of the attack. So I'm just gonna add rust converter, because I'm going to take a break now, and then it can start to do its magic in these areas. We'll probably grind it down a bit further later on, but just to get started. So after a good coffee break, it has time to react, but I'm gonna sand it a bit further. I really hope to just make the small patch right here, but I am unsure if I have to actually make the patch all the way up here. But what I'm going to attempt, once I clean it up, is to just patch the small pinholes using weld. And if that's possible, it will be fine, because there is a lot of material still left in this, and it's not gonna carry any kind of weight or anything. Okay, so there is a bit more rust than I hoped for. My hope right now is to be able to make a patch something like this. But there is a hole up here, and I have to try to add some material to that. And if that's possible, then this will be my goal. Yeah, it's working out all right. It's amazing to weld in this car. I can feel that already now that it's an amazing experience to weld in this car, comparing it to the AZU. So I'm pretty much happy with this. I can work with that. So I'm gonna do that patch I outlined. And then it's time for the dental tools. Yeah, this down here looks nice, which is really good to see. I'm just gonna treat it, the surface rust on this area, and then it's just a matter of making a patch and making that stick there. And yes, I know there is some surface pitting rust right here, but I can treat that and keep that under control. It's really thick material. It's lovely. I almost feel spoiled because it is so thick. But I have been working on the AZU with areas with around where the metal in areas is around 0.5. This is 0.9 at least. I even think it's higher than that. It's really, really thick. That's nice. So the quest now is to make a patch that fits, and I don't want to have any kind of overlap. I'm gonna make a patch that is slightly smaller than the hole, around the width of the welding wire, hopefully, and then weld it in. I'll take a piece of cardboard and start to shape that in. And as Alonso puts it, you always have to leave a space. All the time you have to leave a space. I'm not sure he meant the welding wire though, but there's a slight curve right here, and I'm gonna form that with the grinder most likely. Oh, I lost. Yeah. I think this needs to be slightly smaller. Otherwise I won't be leaving any space. Always have to leave a space. If I don't leave space, the welding will doesn't have place to expand, and the weld won't be very tough either, or strong either. I think this will work just fine. I'm gonna make this in a piece of metal. I'm just gonna use my marker to just mark the metal around the cardboard, and then I need to cut away all the colored stuff. I'm sorry about the cluttered workspace. I have quite a few things going on currently. Therefore it is a bit messy. And as Alonso put it, Messi is a football player. So let's see how that fits. Not great. Not bad either, but I need to trim a bit off right there to get it further in. It fits all right now, but I'm gonna massage it into place by welding it on this edge first and then tap it down until it fits, because there's a bit of a curvature in here. I think that will work fine. Maybe even like this and then up. But I'm just gonna... No. It just fell into the... I wonder if I can get at that from the inside. I hope. Otherwise I have a rattly add-on to my car. Yeah, I can get at it. Oh, that's nice. I need a magnet. I got it! But as I was saying, I think I can make this work, but I'm gonna give this some zinc spray on this, or well-through primer on this side, because I won't be able to get at it later. So, the paint is dry on the back side, so I'm gonna start the process of welding this in. I really could use my magnet tool, but it's missing. I think this will be decent. A great thing about working on old cars is you never really know what you're going to use a lot of your time doing when you wake up in the morning. Currently, I got my little camera thingy, and now I'm gonna press record, take you along. Oh, that's photo. And bring you along, like that. And then hopefully I can find my patch back there. Can you see? This is the inner structure, and it's actually looking decent. There is rust down there, and at some point that will be an issue, but not now. And I just hope to be able to find that piece of metal somewhere. I'm actually unsure. It looks like it's already had a repair down there, maybe. Not sure though. Oh, there it is. Can I grab it with my hook? I have no... It's not possible to reach in there with my hands. But if I can just get it to grab... Oh, this should be magnetic. On the other hand, it would be stuck all the time. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Come on. I wonder if I can go ahead and catch it with my magnet tool that I found. I've been at it for quite a while, this, even though it's probably an instance for you guys. Have you got the magnet? Hello, magnet! Could you possibly be of a bit of help down here instead of just moving around? Nope. Apparently not. Can I reach it from there? Nope, not at all. It's stuck against this indentation thing. Whoa, this is going to be difficult. Could probably be faster to just make a new patch, but I don't really want it to lie down there and rattle and also rust, because that will just spread. And it will rust because it's not painted. Could of course just fill the cavity with oil, but this is a good example on the fact that you will never know what takes time when fixing stuff, but very often it's not the thing you think will take time. Maybe with a long screwdriver I can push it back slightly. Yeah, there we go. It moved, so I don't think it's stuck anymore. Now it's just lost. It's back there again. I wonder if we can catch it now with the magnetic tool now that it's no longer stuck. Let's try that. I got it. I think I got it. Oh! Yay! I'm slightly relieved. Well, back to welding. Here we go. Then I can start to massage it into place. Have you ever heard that saying? Sanding and grinding and paint makes the welder aim. So this is the result. I didn't really get that line perfect, but it's lower, which is good because then I can build it up with a bit of filler. This is the visible bit, so I would really like to make that look nice. This in here doesn't matter though too much. As you can see, it's very roughly grinded. That will make it have a great key for the filler. So I'm gonna give it some primer, and then I can start to form it a bit. And I could have used a lot of time making this perfect, and also do a lot more small rust repairs. But the thing is, it is my daily. I need it to drive tomorrow again. I only have one day to fix it up, otherwise I would have to figure out something else to drive in. And next year when summer comes, I will have a lot of different stuff to drive, and then this can take a break and I can do some of all these rust repairs. But I had a feeling that there was a hole underneath this rust, which was true. It was quite big, and that would have leaked water into the inner structure, and you can see damage down there already. So it would just be worse and worse and worse for every day I drive it. Now I've stopped the water from coming in, so the problem won't become worse, and I can fix all the other stuff later on. So ready for the first layer of filler. This is just to get the rough shape started. So the first layer had some time to cure, and I can start to sand it down. And then the next layer, I would probably do a couple of layers, sanding layers until I'm happy with the shape. So this is the first layer of primer, and I'm not going to pretend this is going to be invisible, but it will be way better than before. And I'm going to give it a couple of layers and then take it back. Next up, I want to remove all the masking, because I want to sand the primer before applying some paint. Runs, but it can be sanded. I think it will be within Seaside Garage tolerances. And I forgot to hit record, but I just added the clear coat. It's a bit later. So now that has to cure, and then I can reassemble stuff. I will not polish anything now, because it will have to take some time to really cure and harden up. But I have to install the window, so as soon as I dare to do that, I will do that. Trying to be careful not to chip the paint too much, because I need the car to drive tomorrow. That's the problem with fixing stuff on a daily. But yeah, it's turned out all right, I think. It's made according to Seaside Garage standard, so there is issues that could be better. But all in all, it is looking decent, I think. And when the paint is polished together in a couple of days, it would look even better, I think. And this is done in 24 hours. So, I mean, I started yesterday, and it's primarily the paint that had to cure overnight. So. And I don't have more time because I need the car out on the road tomorrow. So I'm just gonna start to reassemble the window. I have decided to put some lanolin-based protection on the inner lip where the rubber rests. That shouldn't harm the rubber, and it should stop rust. And I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm not sponsored or anything, but I have gotten a hold of a couple of cans of this, and I so far really like it. And I think it would be perfect in there. Not visible from the outside, but it will just stay in there and protect, which is nice. Some of the clips fell off though. Protection underneath. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this string method seems to be the way to go. I'm going to put a piece of string into the rubber and pull it out on the inside. Just in the groove. There we go. It's in. Woo! And then it's just a couple of screws. I really like how these are put together. You have to figure out how it's done. But once that's figured out, it's quite nice to work on, I think. And then just a chrome strip, which I slightly bent, unfortunately, when disassembling it. Just gonna see if I can hopefully get it into the correct shape at least. It'll probably be visible no matter what I do. Yeah. I'm not totally happy with the fitment of the list, but I'm not gonna do anything else right now because I know I will scratch that newly painted surface up too badly if I do. But it would be nice to get it to sit a little bit better. Might even move the last clip a little bit further down so that it can. I could also just maybe just give it some kind of glue and hold it back in. But it will be fine for now. I'm not going to do anything about the paint on it either, because that's not from now. And I can polish that off later on when the paint is a little bit better. But it's back together. That is nice. So this is fixed. I will no longer have any water come down the window in through that perforated metal plate into the inner structure, into the inner wing. I'm going to fill the inner wing with some rust protection because water has gotten in there, that's for sure, and that will help it live a little bit longer. This was one of the important small rust bits. There's a lot of spots that I would like to just sand and treat and so on. This one was one of the more important ones because that would constantly lead water into the structure, and it rains pretty much all the time currently. So yeah, that's an important step. I'm gonna do more of these small improvement videos on the Benz, I hope, because as mentioned, I really like to stay on top of that pile of small tasks that will eventually come when you drive around in a classic car as a daily. So yeah, thanks for watching. There's a link down below to my Patreon page. That helps me out a lot. So if you enjoy my content, please consider becoming a Patreon. And see you in the next one. Bye bye.